This story is about USA's 44th president, Barack Obama. His father is a black man from Kenya and his mother is white. In 1989, Obama was a law student from Harvard University who was starting a job at a law firm in Chicago. Meanwhile, in another place, there's Michelle Robinson, a woman who has worked at the same law firm and was assigned to supervise Obama. One day, Obama went by his car to pick up Michelle as it was their first day working together. Michelle got into Obama's car, which smelled like cigarettes everywhere. There was a hole in the floor of the car so Michelle could see asphalt from inside the car. In fact, their job would start at 4 in the afternoon, but Obama decided to invite Michelle to meet in the morning. He wanted to get to know his seniors more before they worked together. Knowing the meeting would be held in the afternoon, Michelle got angry as she said that Obama shouldn't have done this. She refused if Obama thought that she would want to date him. She thought that it was inappropriate for a supervisor to date her supervisee. Back then, it was quite difficult for a woman to work in a big law firm because there were still issues of equality and most of the workers there were men. So she had to work harder and avoid any problems to earn respect. Plus, she is black, which means one small mistake could bring what she had achieved back to zero. Obama understood and wouldn't consider it a date until Michelle thinks so. Afterward, Obama invited Michelle to an art gallery in Chicago that was exhibiting works of well-known artists. It turned out that Obama's knowledge of a work of art was broad that he could tell Michelle many things. Obama's views on the history of black people depicted in paintings amazed Michelle in silence. Likewise, Michelle turned out to have an interest in works of art. Without them realizing it, they both shared something in common. From talking about works of art, they started talking about each other's families. Afterward, they had lunch in a park, but the pie that Obama gave wasn't eaten by Michelle as she said that she liked chocolate ice cream instead of pie. Obama then talked about his childhood when he was in Indonesia. He said that he lived in Jakarta for several years with his mother and his stepfather who happened to work in Indonesia, while his biological father had returned to Kenya. When he was 10 years old, he was sent back to America because his mother wanted him to have a better education. At that time, his mother still lived in Indonesia. Just like Obama as black parents, Michelle's parents prioritized their children's education over everything. Michelle's father once worked as an engineer in the irrigation department and had retired. Since then, he had to use a wheelchair. That was why Michelle still lived at her parents' house to help take care of her father. For Obama, Michelle's parents are lucky to have a child like her, but to Michelle, she was lucky to have parents like them. Her father was completely different from Obama's father. The only thing he had in common with his father was both entering Harvard, but his father dropped out and never finished college. Obama said that he didn't know his father. His father left him after he was born. He then entered Harvard and dropped out, returned to Kenya, and worked with the government only to get fired and became unemployed. In the end, he became an alcoholic and died in an accident while drunk driving at the age of 46. After walking and talking, they returned to the car to head to the meeting location. Michelle said that she was tired of being two different people. It was like being a whole different person when she left her house to where she worked. It was like leaving the black planet and landing on a white planet. It was true that the situation at work was not like when she was in college, but still the gap because of skin color was obvious. Obama asked why she still did her job despite her frustration. What he meant was why bother making an issue out of something obvious despite having chosen to work there from the start? Obama was curious about why Michelle chose a workplace that she knew she wouldn't be comfortable with. Hearing that offended Michelle. She reminded Obama that having a nice time and hanging out together didn't mean he got the right to judge her as he pleases, let alone question her life choices. Obama apologized even though he didn't mean to offend Michelle. Shortly after, they arrived at a church where the meeting would be held with the local community there. Obama, as a representative from the law firm, would listen to the complaints under the supervision of Michelle. There, Michelle met Obama's friend named Janice. Everyone thought Michelle was Obama's girlfriend, but Michelle quickly clarified that she and Obama weren't in a relationship. While waiting for the meeting to start, Janice talked about Obama with Michelle. She said everything Obama had done for her life. She then mentioned her son Juan. Like black kids in general, Juan thought that there was no place for black people out there, but Obama always took the time to talk to Juan about Navy ships until finally, Juan was interested. Obama always said that Juan could be anything if he worked hard enough. Janice then showed Michelle a photo of Juan wearing a Navy uniform. Because of this, Michelle was amazed at Obama. The meeting discussed the plan to build a community center, which would later be used as a place to solve their life problems. The discussion was led by a man named Tommy. Many of them expressed their disappointment because the city councils always refused their proposals as if they didn't care about their children there, who were increasingly exposed to the dangers of drugs and gangsters. The discussions got heated up because there had been no progress made regarding the community center. In fact, they were starting to give up and had given up to continue the struggle anymore. In the end, to help with the meeting, Tommy asked Obama to come forward to give his speech. Obama delivered a short speech that managed to attract the attention of many people. He reflected on their victory 2 years ago on the issue of clean water. He said that the struggle with the city council would not be easy and would not solve all the problems. Those small wins were like bricks. The more they stacked, the more they got closer to a finished building. Obama also suggested a strategy to solve the problem. He wanted to invite everyone to be optimistic and change the focus of their goals from self-interest to mutual interest. No decision did mean it was final or the end of everything. Obama asked them to let go of negative judgment and perceptions between them and the city councils. They also need to understand the council's side. Obama believed if their interests aligned with the council's interests, there would be nothing that couldn't be solved. After the meeting with the local community, the two continued to enjoy the afternoon. Michelle had no doubt in praising Obama, who turned out to be very good at speaking. She jokingly said that Obama deliberately took her to a place where he was praised to impress her. Michelle also learned from Obama that sometimes after winning a battle, she often forgot the reasons why she struggled. Praised by Michelle, Obama teased Michelle by saying, "Thank you for going on a date with me." Michelle shyly reminded him that it wasn't a date, but it wouldn't be Obama if he didn't tease her, and said that Michelle was just embarrassed to say the truth. Obama said that if it wasn't a date, then she wouldn't be willingly spent time together with him after work. That day marked their first day dating each other. They then continued to a bar to drink and have a casual talk, like their love story in the past. Obama said that he had been in many love stories before, completely different from Michelle, that never had been in any relationship before. This time, Michelle asked Obama more as if she wanted to know him more. Obama expressed his desire to get into politics and his intention to uphold civil rights as he did in the community. He then confessed that he was still mad at his father. Fortunately, Michelle advised Obama to forgive his father's mistakes. She said that he had to finish what his father couldn't do. At that moment, Obama realized that Michelle had values as a woman that are worth fighting for. After leaving the bar, they continued watching movies in the cinema. It was a film showing discrimination towards the black community. It went viral and was watched by many people, including white people. After the movie ended, Obama went to the toilet. Michelle, who was waiting outside, met her boss named Avery. It turned out that Avery was watching the same movie with his wife. Michelle was worried that her date with Obama would be found out, so she hurriedly wanted to leave, but Avery held her back by discussing the ending of the film, which he thought was very bad, until finally Obama appeared. Avery immediately greeted him. Michelle quickly clarified that she just happened to be watching with Obama after returning from a local community meeting. The atmosphere became awkward at that time. Avery then continued discussing the movie. He said that the black characters in the movie deliberately sparked a commotion to cause a riot, but Obama explained another point of view which managed to satisfy Avery. Before parted ways, Avery told Michelle to always treat Obama well. After that meeting, Michelle returned to thinking that dating Obama was wrong, and the meeting with Avery was proof. Michelle was sure that Avery would quickly spill the news to the other employees, and this will make her the talk of the office. That day should have closed beautifully, but in the car, Obama and Michelle didn't say a word to each other. To cheer Michelle up, Obama bought Michelle's favorite chocolate ice cream. It turned out that Obama still remembered the small details of their conversation this afternoon, and because of that, Michelle's mood got better. Michelle thought that Obama was different from any other man. They continued dating each other until they married in 1992. She accompanied Obama until now.